Mercury in astrology represents the mind, communication, travel, and perception. A fast-moving force that governs how we think, speak, learn, and connect. Its meaning comes from the mythology of Hermes, the Greek god who the Romans called Mercury. To understand the planet's role in astrology, we first look at the mythic personality behind it. Hermes was born to Zeus and Maia, a Pleiad nymph, and was remarkable from the moment of birth. As an infant, he stole Apollo's cattle and cleverly disguised his tracks by walking backward. When caught, he talked his way out of punishment, offering Apollo a gift, the lyre, which he had just invented from a tortoise shell. This early story already shows the traits Mercury governs in astrology: cleverness, trickery, inventiveness, and persuasion. Hermes became the messenger of the gods, traveling freely between Olympus, the mortal world, and the underworld. He was the only Olympian who could enter and leave Hades without resistance, acting as a psychopomp, a guide of souls. This ability to cross boundaries mirrors Mercury's role as the connector between conscious and unconscious, body and mind, word and meaning. It governs communication not just in speech, but in writing, gesture, and understanding. Mercury rules two signs, Gemini and Virgo. In Gemini, Mercury is fast-thinking, social, curious, and changeable. It's the voice, the gossip, the questioner, the mimic. In Virgo, it's precise, analytical, focused on systems and practical detail. In both, it's about the processing of information, though one does it through intuition and connection, the other through logic and refinement. In astrology, Mercury also governs travel, especially short trips and daily movement. This reflects Hermes' role as the god with winged sandals, flying across the world to deliver messages. He could just as easily help someone find their way on a dusty road as carry a soul into the afterlife. This dual nature gives Mercury a kind of neutrality. It isn't moral, it's functional. It moves, it transmits, it adapts. The famous Mercury retrograde, when the planet appears to move backward in the sky, is often misunderstood. While it's associated with delays, miscommunication, and tech issues, it's also a time for review and reflection. In myth, this might be imagined as Hermes pausing mid-journey, rereading a message, or backtracking to ensure something wasn't missed. It's less about chaos and more about reorientation. Mercury is also linked to trickery and wit. In myth, Hermes was a god of thieves and lies as much as of truth and diplomacy. This doesn't make Mercury inherently deceptive, but it shows that information itself isn't always pure. How it's used, spun, or delivered matters. Mercury governs both the facts and the manipulation of them. In alchemy, Mercury, or quicksilver, was one of the three sacred substances, representing fluidity, transformation, and the ability to shift between states. Just as Hermes could become invisible, change forms, or speak any language, Mercury in astrology represents flexibility of thought and movement. Ultimately, Mercury is the planet of translation between people, between ideas, and between realms. Whether in the form of a divine messenger or a curious traveler, its presence in a chart shows how we think, how we speak, how we learn, and how we move through the world. It reminds us that thought is never still. It's always moving, adapting, and shaping the connections that make us human.